Good afternoon. Welcome to That's Entertainment on IPL Radio with Brenton and
Cheryl.
And the IPL Radio, the inspiration of WA. All right. And we've got a fantastic guest here, in today. You're right there, Tris? Yep, he's given us the nod. All right, so we've got Hayley Parker from Alexandra Theatre, who is putting on a fantastic musical. I have seen a lot of the rehearsals, but they're putting on My Fair Lady.
We are indeed.
So, yeah.
Very exciting times. It's coming together beautifully at the moment.
So Hayley, okay, tell me. Now, we were talking in the foyer. You're actually playing two roles in the production.
I am indeed. So it's actually really tricky with this musical because we've got quite a large cast, and I think the ensemble is quite large in this musical. And
it's huge.
It's massive.
There's 60-something people in the chat group.
It's absolutely crazy. So, but also wonderful because I've got to meet so many people. But the reality is with this show, there is literally, I think, 3 or 4 core lead characters, and all the rest of the characters in the show are played by the ensemble. And so we are expected to flip, switch, change in and out of all these different characters, which includes costume changes.
I do that all the time, but it doesn't include costume changes.
That's true.
Yeah, I thought you were a different person 5 minutes ago. I can't quite figure this out. But yeah, so it's really exciting. I get to play basically 3 different characters while I'm doing it, really, in the scheme of things. I've got Mrs. Hopkins, who's my main character that I deliver most of my lines with. And she's like the town gossip. So she's always listening. Her ears are flapping and so are her gums. And then I've got the Queen of Transylvania. So she comes in at the embassy ball scene, looking very la-di-da and checking out the lovely Eliza Doolittle as a prospect for her son, the prince. And then I just get a really fun dancing character. I'm one of the Can girls in a big pub scene for Get Me to the Church on Time. And that scene is just phenomenal.
I've seen the rehearsals for that. Yes. Pear is incredible.
Pear's a good actor.
He is. Pear, of course, is his nickname. It's Peter. But he is an amazing actor and great guy to talk to as well.
Very talented human being, but also just so humble. Very humble human being. And I actually, weirdly enough, my first musical in Perth, I did with Pear. So I met him back in 2010, I think it was, at the Rolling Stone Theatre.
Right.
We did 9 together, was the musical. I played Saragina. And that was the first time I kind of got to know him and his family and everybody. But he's since gone on to do incredible things even after that and prior to that. But very talented human being. And he just eats up this role as Alfred Doolittle. Like, he is Alfred. He's just made to play this role.
Oh, he is brilliant. And just, he takes control of the stage. He owns that stage when he's out there, and he's brilliant. He's absolutely
brilliant. I did Pirates. I was Ruth, and he was the Pirate King.
Oh my goodness!
That was back in 2013.
It's great to be a Pirate
Phoenix,
King.
But
who wouldn't want to be? You know.
And then because he's done it before.
Yes.
He wasn't there for many rehearsals, but because he's done it, but he still took it on. Did it, and I know
absolutely,
he's
and ran
amazing.
with it. He is, and always willing to lend a hand and help as well.
Well, sadly, I do know that Pez actually taking a break after this one for a little while.
Yes. Oh, I think he very much needs it.
He just, he just works so hard in theatre. He does one show, and then he's got another one.
It's not just performing; it's his other craft that I think a lot of people forget about. He is a professional theatre carpenter.
Yeah.
He actually
set designer.
He's a set designer
I saw those tables you guys were dancing on the other day, and
not budging. They're amazing.
Yeah, I mean, when I think it was Chloe was testing them out. Yes, the brakes weren't on. It was moving a bit in the video, but when but he put 3 together in. He said it takes about 3 hours to make one.
He just smashed them out.
Yeah.
Brought them into rehearsal for us, and there they were ready to go.
Yeah.
And you've got 3 people doing the can on top of the table, and it's not moving.
So he's doing the set as well?
He is. He's really deeply involved. It's my understanding.
Yeah, you're a lunatic. What are you doing? You've got to slow down.
But it keeps people going sometimes.
But Per, I need to talk to you when it comes to doing my theatre Theatre Productions.
I think that's it. Everyone wants a piece of the pear
No,
pie, right?
he's incredible. I mean, this is a guy who's got one of the leads because
Yes.
Alfred Doolittle's
a
one of
lead.
the leads.
Yep.
The two leads, of course, are Eliza and
Professor
Higgins.
Yes.
I always forget Professor Higgins' first name.
Oh my
Is
goodness.
it actually mentioned?
That's a good
Is it
question.
ever
I don't
mentioned?
think it is.
Ooh,
I've
okay.
never heard
All right.
his
Is
first
it? No, it's Henry.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
you
sure
should have
it's
said so
Henry
because I was
Higgins.
about to do
Henry
it. I was
Higgins.
about to
Yes,
run it.
Yes.
Henry Higgins. She says
Yes.
Yes.
Henry Higgins.
Henry Higgins. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right.
I
So,
stuffed up your segue there. Sorry.
yeah. Well, see, I was about to offer a competition,
Yeah, there you
win a
go.
car sticker for IPL Radio. But anyway, so, but Pat, you've got to stop because you're one of the because I would class him as probably if those two, if Eliza and Henry are equal leads, then he's the second lead.
I
That's
really
how I
do
would
feel like
class
he
him.
is. And he's got the big kind of showy scenes
Yeah.
as well, because his songs are all with the ensemble and we're all prancing about in the background and having a laugh, and we're all usually drunk.
I like those scenes.
They're usually the best
Yep.
scenes to perform. So,
Yeah, but
big numbers.
but he's also building the set and putting furniture together, and
And then trucking it to and from the theatre. He's helping with bump in. He's going to put it all together. He really is a superhuman.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you more than you know. And I was actually, doing
Definitely.
some marketing and things with him as well. So he's on the bandwagon for that. So, yeah, good man. Good man you are, Peter Pearcar.
definitely, awesome guy, really friendly guy. He is so easy to talk to as well.
Yes.
I have more respect for him than
Yes.
you could imagine.
But leave him alone for the next 6 months, I've been told.
Yeah, he needs a
He
break.
does need
he
a
needs a
break.
break. So we're going to put Treasure Island on in about 6 months'
Oh,
time. Pat.
amazing. There you go. Done deal.
Oh well, no. I mean, I'm still adapting Treasure Island to the stage, but I think our next one's actually going to be One of My Wives is Missing.
Oh.
It's
you know.
it's a bit of a thriller.
Wouldn't every man be so lucky?
Oh, this one's a bit of a thriller. You're going to have to see that, but
I'm
it's
intrigued.
going to be good. It's going
Okay.
to be fun.
Sounds good.
So okay, now I want to talk more about you.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got an accent. Where
I
are you
do.
from?
So I'm a bit of a mixed bag of nuts. Really, in the scheme of things, I was born and pretty much raised in South Africa. So Cape Town is my original birthplace and my home. My mum, however, is British, so she lives in England. So I've obviously spent some time there and obviously grew up with a British mother. So I've picked up her vocals and her accent. And then with a lot of my vocal training, you're kind of trained to round things and change the way you talk.
Yeah.
So, and then I've lived in Australia since 2007. So I've
Okay.
every now and
You
again.
haven't been
I've
here
got-
long enough to lose the accent.
Correct. I have not. And I don't think I ever will, to be
No,
really honest.
you won't.
I don't
You
think
won't.
I will completely. It also depends on the situation. You know, if I'm working with Aussies, I get more Aussie. If I get drunk, then I sound South African. It just depends on the situation entirely. And so, no, good fun. Good fun altogether.
Yeah.
But yes, so original roots, South Africa.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we were talking before, and you said you started at a very young age. So please talk about it.
So my journey has been, again, a real kind of mix and variety. My very first taste of the performing arts was at the age of 3. My mum actually took me to watch my first ballet ever, and it was Swan Lake. And I remember getting a pointe shoe signed after the show, and I was just in love with the whole concept. And the very next week, I started with my first ballet class at the age of 3, and I never looked back. So ballet has been the first love of my life, and still to this day, very much so. And I ended up studying a lot in the performing arts then from there forward. So I've obviously done a lot of shows in the background and done things with that. I ended up doing my first degree, a BA degree in performing arts in South Africa. And then I actually did my ballet teachers training through the Royal Academy in London. And after that one, I decided in Australia to become a high school teacher for dance and drama. So I did my master's here at ECU. And then I've done a couple of kind of other things floating around in the background, some diplomas and things like that. I'm a bit of an eternal student.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you learn so much from it, and you take everything that you learn and grow from, and, you know, it all goes towards characters that I perform and things I do in the theatre. And like I say, I've been lucky enough to work professionally as well. I work for a children's theatre company, touring around schools and doing
I'd
shows.
love to get into that.
Oh, it's great fun. It's great fun.
I think I
Like-
auditioned once before, but I was a bit bigger, and
Yeah.
and I'm like, they're not going to take me because I can't get on the floor and I can't do.
See, that's the thing, and I think that's the struggle I've had in the world of performing arts, you know, being kind of a more plus-size human being. It is kind of tricky, so I've always gone for the character roles.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But then I don't think I would ever want to play anything else, to be honest.
I love doing character roles.
Exactly, and they're the fun ones, right?
I direct more now. I usually play, you know, I'll only do small roles in plays that I
Yeah.
direct, because I hate directing myself. I can't
Of
direct
course, it
myself.
would be really hard to do, actually. Yeah.
But whenever I have performed, I have loved the character roles.
Yes.
Back in 1988, I played Queen Mama Duchess in Puss in
Perfect.
Boots, the pantomime, and there I was, complete with mustache. Obviously a man.
Yes.
And the director actually asked me. He told me, I want you to shave the mustache off. I said, I'm not shaving the mustache off. I said, the Queen can have a mustache.
Absolutely.
It's a pantomime.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
You just went past one of your rules. Don't talk to the director.
Sorry?
One of your rules from acting, you like, you know.
Oh, yeah, but that came later.
Back in the day. Yeah.
But that came later. That director was arrogant anyway. But I've met a few directors and production managers who are a bit arrogant.
Shock horror.
Yeah. But yeah, the character acting is so fun.
So fulfilling. There's just something about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I have been blessed to play all the characters I've played and enjoy the things I've done. And I will continue, especially now as I'm kind of getting into that older category where I can't be the pretty young waif-like leading lady. You know, it's not going to happen for me. So I'm going to throw myself about on stage and be known. So
Yeah.
why not? But
So,
yes.
okay, so still talking about you.
Yep.
So, what's your favourite role you have ever played?
Hands down, easiest thing ever for me was Mama Morton in Chicago.
That is my dream role.
It's the bomb
It
diggity.
is.
Awesome.
It really is just such a great role because she's got enough stage time that she is a lead, but also, you know, something that's just really juicy, that it's not too full on, that you can't just like sink your teeth into it
Yeah.
and have your moment. Her song is just so fun. It's a really fun song. And I'm not one who's afraid to kind of wobble my bits where they're required. Like I'm out there, I'm loud, I'm proud. And so she is that kind of character.
Yeah.
And I just had an absolute ball playing her when I did that. And Chicago is a musical. I mean, you can't go past it, really.
Oh, Chicago's brilliant.
Yes.
I love the
Chicago-
music in it as well.
It is. It's just an incredible show, and I think it will stand the test of time.
I've got to audition
over the
next time
years.
it's in. 'Cause I really want that role.
Absolutely, I know. I think it's coming up later this year. They've already done the auditions.
Yeah,
for it,
because
yes.
my friend RP was supposed to be in it.
Oh yes, of course, RP. Yes.
Yeah, and he
He couldn't do it.
didn't do it, but then we got him for Mamma Mia because we needed men.
Well, there you go.
Thank God.
Thank
But
goodness.
yeah, things worked in a way.
Of course.
So-
yeah, and it does. The universe does that, especially in the performing arts.
That's right. We'll have dream roles.
Of course, well, of course we do. And we at the bucket list sit there and we wait for our moment. That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, a character I would, if I was female and could sing,
Yes.
one character I'd love to play is Auntie Mame.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, I mean that's a wonderful
Absolutely.
production as well. I love that
Yes.
production, but yeah, she was Lucille Ball played her in the movie.
Yeah, she did.
And it was just over the top. That's what I like about character acting. It's
Absolutely.
over the top, and you can just be as
Yep.
crazy, and it's exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
It's exhausting, but
Madame
so much fun.
Fernandia is on my list as well. For
Madame
Les
Tenorio,
Mis.
yeah.
I haven't done her yet, and I'd love to do
We've got the
her.
same roles.
Oh, of
we've got the
course.
same one,
Of course.
yeah.
You're in my head. You're in my head. And there's
Yeah.
just so many of those kind of juicy character ones that I'd love to wrap my gums around, and I'll just keep building that bucket list and see where we go. But
Yeah. And what's been your biggest challenge? Because I haven't asked personal questions like age or anything.
yes.
A man never asks.
Of course, of course. Oh, look, I'm not shy about my age at all.
But
Yeah.
you started when you were 3.
Yes.
But what's been your biggest challenge in your career so far?
Funny, it's a good question because I could go back and look at all the small challenges. I could talk about my weight. I could talk about mental health issues, which I think in the performing arts, we all have. I think as creative people, we always lean and teeter on the edge of having, highs and lows and good and bad times because that's just who we are.
Yeah.
But I would say for me, funnily enough, and I think about it a lot, is the choices I've made and where it's led me in my life, especially with my career in the arts. And I look at it and I go, I have a lot of friends who are touring in international productions, having the time of their life. I'm 38 years old this year. I'll be 38
there
in
you
October.
go. 30, I didn't even have to ask.
See, I said I'm not shy of my age at all. So I'm getting closer to that 40 mark. And I look at my life now and I think, they're off doing all of this. They've got these incredible, exploding careers on an international stage. But then I've got to stop myself and I've got to think, hang on. Really, if I look at it, so do I, because I've come from South Africa. I've moved to an international country, which is Australia. I'm doing shows on what is a professional stage in Perth in the Regal Theatre. I've worked for companies locally and, and interstate. And I'm doing so many things, but the biggest choice for me was family or career. And I think the difference is that a lot of my friends that I've seen and that have gone around and doing these things, they're still single people. They don't have a family. They don't have children. It's them, and they've made that choice to love their career and go with it.
Yep.
And that's the choice they've made. That is not an issue at all. That's their choice. But I was faced with do I love someone and create a family with them and settle and be a mum and focus on that first? Because you have to. My children are my number one. My babies go number one, and then everything else comes after that.
Yeah.
So for me, that's been the biggest challenge, is to kind of sit down in my head and go, I need to make a choice about my life. I either choose my career path as number one or I choose my family as number one, and I've had to choose my family.
Family always comes first.
It does.
In everything.
In everything.
yeah.
And that was a big challenge.
Yeah.
It was for me, because I do love what I do, and there's no doubt in my mind, that I could do whatever I wanted with it, because there's a lot of talent in Perth and we are all raring to go.
Huge amount of
Yeah.
talent, and everyone knows everyone here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's what's so funny, is that it's a big community but a small community.
Yeah.
I find it so weird. We were actually laughing, Per and I were saying the other day, we call it "you've been Perthed," that you can literally go anywhere and in the world and you'll bump into a Perthian and connect degrees of 10, you'll find some way.
Oh, this
But-
person is.
Yeah, exactly.
I spent 29 years in Melbourne.
Yes.
Right. And when I came over here, I don't do musicals.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to do music. I've
Fair
never
enough.
directed a musical. I've been in pantomimes. I've been in musicals.
Yes.
But I can't direct one.
You prefer directing a
I
play. Yeah.
love doing plays
I love
and
plays.
movies.
I love plays.
Plays and
yes.
movies.
Movies are great too.
And when I did my first production here in Perth,
Yes.
which was John Hughes, The Breakfast Club,
Oh, wow.
right? Fantastic player, had fantastic cast. We had Archer Larwood, who was in the producers. Were you in the producers?
No, I wasn't actually. No, and
Okay.
I'm sad I missed out on that one, because that was a great success. Yes.
But Archer Larwood, who was in the producers, he played Brian
Yes.
in the Breakfast Club. He was brilliant. They were all brilliant. All the cast were brilliant. The crew were brilliant. And we put that on at Coolini Arts Centre.
Amazing, yeah.
It was beautiful.
Oh,
theatre.
it's a great spot. It really is.
And but after the production, I had audience members come up and say, "Brenton, we can tell you're from Melbourne." I said, "How can you tell that?" They said, "That was not a Perth community theatre
Yep.
production. That was
Yep.
that was a Melbourne community
Isn't that
theatre
interesting?
production."
You can see the difference.
Because there is that
Yeah.
slight level.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, you've got different
I think
resources.
Perth is getting up to that
But it's
level
definitely
now.
getting there. But you know, there is a
Yeah.
reason they call it called WA. Wait a
Wait a
while.
while. Eventually get there.
But look, I've seen some fantastic plays here.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
really
you know,
are.
and I know that plays that go on at the Regal are really good.
They are. And funny enough, I think the pandemic, as awful as it's been in so many ways, has been good for the Perth arts community from a creating our own material perspective. I think because we didn't have touring companies coming in anymore and taking up the spaces at the theatres, it's kind of forced our hand to level up and actually create material to put on these stages. And we've stepped up to the plate, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of companies still suffering. I know ticket sales have been a struggle, especially over the past 2 years.
It's hard to get people out because they're a bit scared of getting
exactly.
out.
And they're afraid that shows are going to be cancelled, so you spend the money and, we're not going to get to see anything. So there's always that fear attached for everybody, and hopefully that'll dissipate eventually, and it will. But yes, I think if you look on it from the flip side, it's been so great to see how it's actually made us stronger and resilient from a performing arts perspective, in the fact that we have decided, you know what, no one's coming in. We are good enough, we are strong enough, and we're going to create something amazing, which is happening.
I mean, what I've noticed is, everyone just sort of nets together
Yes.
and it helps people out. It
agree.
helps each other out. It's the same with all over the country.
Yes.
All over the world, really. I've got a lot of big name director
Yeah.
friends who just jump in and help out
Of
all over the
course.
world.
And all the companies seem to be promoting each other as well, which I'm loving. I'm loving seeing that they're all sharing their social media posts and saying, make sure you buy tickets for our sister company, this one or whatever.
Oh, definitely.
And that's lovely to see.
Yeah.
That is really good.
But it is. It's a large industry, but it's a small community.
It is.
Perth, as we said, everyone in Perth that's involved in theatre knows everyone.
Yes.
Everyone in Melbourne knows everyone. Everyone in Sydney knows
course.
everyone. Every state
Has their
own
Yeah,
community
they do.
of actors,
It does.
and it's great. It's actually I've found in Perth there's a lot more theatre than there is in Melbourne.
Right. Okay,
Melbourne
that's
is very film oriented.
Ah, okay. That does make sense.
Whereas
actually.
here in WA, but I know that the film industry is getting a big shake up here.
Well, that's good.
I'm not saying
I'm glad.
anything more, but
I'm
I've
excited.
But
I actually
you know,
majored in film in my first degree, so I did acting for film and made a few movies. I really enjoy the filmmaking process. It's
Yeah.
quite interesting.
Might get
so.
into a few more because I
Oh.
did extra on 3 Summers, but
Oh,
I didn't
cool.
get a shot in on the shots I was in. Didn't get into the show, but it was still
But
fun.
you got the
doing
experience
Yeah,
nonetheless,
exactly.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was fun.
I love
Get into film.
film. I love
Yeah.
TV. I'd like to see the TV industry pick up here.
Absolutely.
And
Again, so much opportunity, even in locations. I think WA has got everything.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to film, there's a location for
Oh
it.
yeah,
here.
there's
So,
beautiful
yeah.
locations around.
And the talent, people. Listen,
I
the
know,
talent's
We
here.
are talented.
But I do know the film industry is
Amazing.
getting a big shake up here, which is
That's exciting.
one of the reasons that I moved over here from
Okay,
Melbourne.
that's great.
But yeah, and the TV show that I was in has just finished filming.
Oh, that's exciting.
No. I was in it back in 1987 through 1990.
Oh, stop
It was
it.
a long running TV show.
Good gracious.
Yeah, and it's
Oh my
and it's
goodness.
just they've just
Announced
stopped
the
filming.
ending, hey?
yeah they've just finished filming.
Oh, that's kind of sad,
Yeah.
actually. That is, that's
Not anymore. It's not.
fair call. Fair call. You're like, I'm not in it anymore. It doesn't matter.
No, the problem with shows like that though, they sort of changed. They changed the dynamics. They
Yeah, right.
changed the whole
Probably why it's
concept.
harder to get stories in because they changed it too much, and they're like, oh, we've done that. Oh,
Well, that
we've
particular
done that. Yeah.
particular show, and I haven't dropped any names, but that particular show is all about your neighbourhood,
Yeah.
where you could relate to your fellow neighbours.
Yes. you
And but this particular, what they've done, or what they did was they changed things and they introduced.
Yes.
They jumped the shark.
Yeah.
They took what was attractive about that show and turned it into something slightly
Right.
different because they wanted the foreign
Yes.
the foreign viewers. They wanted.
And it doesn't always work. It doesn't always
doesn't
translate.
work. Doesn't work. So
That's what's happening.
now, okay, all right. So just remind us the characters you're playing. You've got
So, yes,
the Queen of
The Queen of Transylvania sounds very
and-
exotic.
and
I've got Mrs. Hopkins, and
Yeah.
then I'm one of the Can girls. So if you come along to the show, you'll have to look out for me. Play Spot Haley's characters
Yeah.
in the crowd, and you can definitely go onto the Ticketek website, and it's really easy to get the tickets there. Super easy. You literally just go there and search for My Fair Lady, and we will pop up.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, if you could play any other character from the play, which would it be and why?
What's really annoying is that I think the only other character that super duper would interest me, I mean, obviously it'd be great to be Eliza, but I don't think I'm an Eliza. I've never been an Eliza. But I would actually like to be a male character and be Alfred Doolittle.
I think he'd be. I reckon he would be the most fun character out of all of.
Absolutely.
No offense to look,
Any of
I'm
the
dreadful
others.
with names. So who's playing Eliza? What's her name?
We've got Grace.
Grace.
playing
That's
Eliza,
right.
Yes.
Grace Edwards.
Yes,
Yep.
and she's phenomenal. She was born to be Eliza.
She is. She's gorgeous
She's
girl.
so
She
vocally
is.
stunning.
She looks
Yes.
the part.
And she's a speech pathologist. She's actually in her last year of speech pathology at university. And it's been really interesting to watch her evolution because she's really honed in on the change of the voice
Yeah.
of Eliza. So they couldn't have actually picked a better person really to do this because she's been really genius about the way she's gone about it. And the change that happens feels so real watching her on stage. So very exciting.
experience,
The actual change that happens
Yeah.
in her voice, because of course a lot of accents in the
And,
show.
and what's the name of the guy playing Henry Higgins?
We've got Mark playing
Mark.
Henry, yes. And again, he's fantastic vocally as well. Really command.
Mark
He is.
Compton.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
He is.
Well,
yes, of course.
I haven't seen him perform before this one.
Yes, yeah.
But I've heard a lot about him.
good.
I've heard a lot of good
Yes,
things.
a lot of positive
played
feedback.
our Frederick in Pirates.
Oh, wonderful.
I heard that he played Fagin in Oliver.
Oh,
He did when
interesting.
Kalini done it a couple of years ago.
Now
Oh.
Fagin, who is an older man,
Yes.
you know, because look, I could be wrong. I could be giving him a really good ego here. He
Yeah.
looks like he's in his 20s.
He does look very young.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
in his late 20s though.
Yes,
I'd say he's
but
late 20s,
he's
30s
very
now.
youthful looking indeed.
But
But
he
he
played
plays older.
Yeah,
does.
Yes.
He
embodies
because
it.
Henry Higgins is supposed to be older.
Correct.
So
Which
you
is
know,
why I
so
think
there's going
they
to have to be a
cast it-
lot of
yeah.
good makeup there.
I think there will be, but he's also in the way he physically embodies the character. He portrays the age through that, and it's funny because I thought it would be an issue too. But when you watch the scenes when they're doing it, the way you don't even recognize that the way it comes across, you don't even see the age on the stage because the characters are so true to form.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is what
If you
know,
cast
it's
it
good
well,
acting.
everyone matches and it doesn't really
Exactly
matter.
right.
So, yeah.
And Natalie's been very clever with that, our director. She's very good with that. She said from day one it was about choosing the right people, you know, and she was really meticulous in her casting process as to who got the roles. So
Yeah.
she's got a great cast on board.
Yeah.
Everyone really stands on their own as a super talented human being. So
Cool.
it's exciting. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So okay. So it opens.
29th of June we open.
So
So,
in,
2 weeks
in,
away.
in
Yes.
two,
That's
two,
close.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think 2 weeks
Pretty much.
tomorrow
So
or
that's-
today.
yeah,
16th today, so it's 13
Two
days.
2 weeks yesterday.
2 weeks
Yep.
yesterday. Oh,
2 weeks, yes.
So you
Oh,
open
gosh.
on
I
it.
felt
So
sick suddenly.
29th of June is a Wednesday. You got the Wednesday, Thursday,
You got a Wednesday
Friday,
night.
and Saturday. Is that right?
Yes,
Wednesday
that
night.
sounds about right. 2nd of July, I think we
Yeah.
close up shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
a
2
really
weeks,
short
yeah.
season, in the scheme of things. But you know what? We're selling hot and clearly people want it. I mean, it's been 10 years,
Well,
I think.
it's a
Yeah,
very
yeah, it's
popular.
been a while since
It
it's been
is
done.
a well-known musical.
It is.
We were talking about.
One of those
We were
iconic
talking about
ones.
it before. It is. It was actually the or Pygmalion, which is the
Yes,
basis of
the
this. I
original
think. I think
basis.
Pygmalion's got slight differences,
Yeah.
but. I couldn't tell you what those differences are. I just
No.
know that Mark was saying to me, "You do know that there's these differences between the two." I'm like, "No."
He'll be
'cause I
yelling at the radio right now.
Well, I studied Pygmalion when I was in
Of
high
course,
school.
yes, yes.
I think we all studied
I'm sure at
Pygmalion
some
in high
point we all
school.
did
You
it,
didn't
but-
do it? No?
No, I've
back
heard
and
about
read
it,
it.
but
Yeah.
I've not studied.
But then you were saying there's a modern twist on that. The basis
Yes,
for the
because
film,
because Pygmalion, which was the basis for
Yes.
My Fair Lady, so My Fair Lady is the basis for Pretty Woman,
Pretty Woman,
the
of
movie
course.
with
Julia Roberts.
Richard Gere
Yeah.
and Julia Roberts. Wonderful film.
Yes.
Loved it to bits. I think the casting was brilliant in that.
Yes.
And the humour, everything was just perfect. Their take on the story was brilliant.
It's a great story across the ages. I think that's the thing. It's suitable for all audiences, and I mean, which goes to show that our matinee actually, I think on the Saturday is pretty much almost sold out.
Oh, cool.
So there's obviously a lot of families, bringing their kids into a show.
Yeah.
And I think more than anything, this show is going to be a real treat for the eyes. The costuming is stunning, and they've gone real true to period. It's just been meticulous detail with the costuming. So Marilyn, who's head of our wardrobe, she is phenomenal as Natalie's mum. She has absolutely smashed out. She's worked her bum off on all of the stuff, sewing up a storm. And I tell you what, there is not a button or sequin that has gone astray. It really is going to look stunning. So.
Look, I've seen the wardrobe. I've seen the wardrobe,
Yes.
or most of it, because I was taking photos in there.
Of course,
and-
yes, you've been in there snapping us.
Oh
yeah.
my God, some of
so
that.
much.
So she has put
Yeah.
most of that together. Just
She has. So she's an incredible sewer herself. I think to call them seamstress, it seems like such a derogatory term, but she's incredible sewer, and she's sourced a lot from other theatre companies. I
yeah,
think,
like
as well.
the tails and everything
Correct.
from external sources. But
Yes.
those dresses, she made the dresses.
She's sewn up a lot of them. I know she's and our can skirt she's done by hand. I mean, she really is just phenomenal. She's worked all hours and
I can't remember a
looks
can
incredible.
number in My Fair Lady.
It's a big. It's close
Yeah.
to the end.
It is.
Ah.
It's Get Me to the Church. So
Yeah, it's right at the end. So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
we're
Okay.
doing a bit of a tap number with our can skirts on. So we're mixing it up. So we've got our
Right.
tap shoes and our can skirts
Yeah.
all going at the same time.
Now, I know that we were talking before about Per and his
Yes.
building things. Now, I know the other day you start using tables and you're doing tabletop dancing.
It's Coyote Ugly, My Fair Lady style, right?
But and he's done an amazing job putting these tables together. There's three of them,
There are.
and he
There
took
are.
3 hours
And
to
they
build
move
each
so
one.
easily, which
They-
is what I can't believe.
Well, they
They're
move
such
it.
big things.
Let me just
Yeah.
slightly correct you there. So they move easily to get on and off the stage, but they don't move when you're dancing on them.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah, so audience don't sit there
Don't
going,
panic.
"Oh, they're going to fall off the," because the tables aren't going to move once they're on there because they've got brakes on them.
They do, yes.
But so do you dance?
As
do you
long as we
dance on
remember to lock them.
don't look. You look 3 and forget 1, and you're like,
Oh my lord.
Do you dance on?
I do. I am lucky enough to
How,
dance
how does
on
that
one.
feel? Because I mean,
It's absolutely petrifying, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we've obviously had the tables now for about 2 or 3 rehearsals.
Yeah.
So the more we use them, the more relaxed we get. The biggest issue is getting up and down, on and off the tables, is so
how do you-
scary.
okay, so
because they're quite high.
They are.
Yes. So we've been, we've kind of had to choreograph it in. So we actually worked with our choreographer, Chloe, who's smashing it. She's incredible. And we had a actual whole rehearsal where we worked out, right, how are we getting this person off the table now? How do we get them back on here? How do we get that person off? So we have actually blocked in who is helping us. So there's guys and girls who come and lend us a hand or a shoulder so we can jump down off the tables.
Well,
it's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because we had to.
Yeah.
oh yeah, safety-wise.
Safety-wise, we
But
had to.
some of the dance moves that I have seen
Yes.
during rehearsals, there's girls being thrown around and
Yeah, there's
all
acrobatics.
sorts,
Our opening scene has
Cheerleader
an
style.
acrobatic trio in it. I mean, we've got people doing bend backs and walkovers and aerial stunts and things. And I think this is kind of how we've put our stamp on it, I suppose, and made it a little more modern. Is we're throwing in twists choreographically to make it kind of lift and get a bit
Yeah.
more excitement in it. Because otherwise, I think the being quite a period, piece, it can get a bit flat unless you can lift it with things, you know. So it's interesting for the eye, but even our Ascot scene, I mean, is quite beautiful choreographically, and all we've really done, well, I say Chloe's done, she's created just patterns with us walking in. I imagine that because it's a raked theatre, that when you're looking down on us, it will be quite magnificent to watch all these patterns form in our black and white garb for the Ascot race.
Yeah.
So, and I say Ascot because we've been told that it's not Ascot. It's Ascot.
Oh, is it?
It's Ascot, darling.
Oh.
It's
not
smashing.
Perth Ascot.
It's not Perth Ascot. It's Ascot in England, yes. So very la-di-da,
I love watching that the rehearsal for the Ascot
Yes.
racing.
Yes.
And as soon as it starts, and they're just watching these imaginary horses go
running.
past.
It's very
and then
clever.
they snap back. Oh, I look, Chloe's very talented.
She's so clever.
Yeah.
And I really do hope I get to work with her again. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Chloe, if you're listening. Because honestly, she's very smart at understanding musical theatre choreography, because there's a big difference. I mean, as myself as a dancer and dance teacher, doing like a number or a troupe for a dance competition or show. Musical theatre is a very specific type of choreography because it needs to tell the story. And she's been very clever that the choreography matches the story so beautifully, but is still really awe-inspiring and exciting to watch as well for your audience. So she's very clever as a choreographer, and that made a very good choice bringing her on board there.
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be anyone else for the gig, to be honest. She's done well.
Well, I've known Chloe for about 2 years now.
Oh, incredible.
Not extremely well.
Yeah.
She actually came when we were doing auditions for Dracula.
Yes.
She came to, I think she came to support
A friend. or
support Lincoln Hitchcock,
someone. Okay.
who ended up taking on. He played the role of Dr. Seward.
Oh, lovely.
But I can't remember if she was cast and then couldn't do it, or if I don't even remember if she auditioned. But
Yeah,
I've known
right.
Chloe for a
Wow.
while. Yeah.
It's one of the, again, you've been Perthed, one
Yeah,
of those
yeah,
exactly.
bystanders. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Everyone
yeah,
knows
just-
everyone. Everyone works in different theatre companies, and eventually,
Eventually
you've
you
all
cross
gone through.
paths.
You've
Yeah.
eventually gone through a whole circle. You've gone through, and you go, okay, we'll go to the next one again.
Yeah, well, I started with Kwinana Theatre Workshop.
Oh,
that's how- yeah,
wow.
when
Oh,
I
my
started my
word.
theatre trek. Because I
That's
used to do
great.
dancing. I used to do
Of course,
competition
you were a
dance,
dancer,
tap,
yes.
jazz, and all that.
Oh, love it.
So, yeah, and then I hurt my back and couldn't do it anymore, so I started theatre.
Well, there you
Well, that
go.
was a silly thing to do. Why'd you hurt your back?
Crazy.
Muscles.
Yeah.
Help
No,
that.
why?
Muscles do that,
I don't know. It's in the family, I
Yeah. We all tend to break something at some
Yeah.
point, don't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, so give another plug, because I know that you've got to
Yes.
get going soon. So
I
give
do.
give another plug. So it's
So
My
it's
Fair
My
Lady.
Fair Lady at the Regal Theatre, running from the 29th of June to the 2nd of July.
Yep.
And Ticketek is where you can grab the tickets. They're really affordable, and it's going to be a beautiful show. Perth
Awesome.
hasn't seen My Fair Lady for 10 years, so don't make it another 10 years before you see it
Yeah.
again. Yes, come and get your tickets.
Make sure you do that. So Ticketek.
Ticketek,
Ticketek.
please. Yeah, really easy. Ticketek.com.au.
And now, what days are what day is the matinee?
The matinee, I think, is on the Saturday. We've got a
Yeah.
double show day that day.
Yeah.
So we've got the matinee and then the evening
and then
show.
the evening is the closing.
Yes, so that'll be our
It's
closing
always
night.
sad with the production.
It's always a bummer when you close. But
Always sad.
we've got a contingency, I think, that if the show sells incredibly well, which it currently is, that we can obviously put on an extra show on the Sunday. But I think it just depends on theatre availability and what's going on there. But yeah, it's definitely looking like we're going to have some nice full audiences, which is a treat as
It
performers.
is. When we did Mamma
Isn't
Mia,
it?
they only just opened up the 100% capacity,
Exactly.
and we're thinking, oh, we're not going to get it, but we
You
were.
smashed it.
We got it, and they upped the circle up in the impact,
And to
it was
perform
just good.
for a full audience
Yeah,
is
it was
just
good.
so
It's
good.
great
Oh,
to
look,
see it come back.
I love it.
Yes.
Pretty much every production I've done here has
Yeah.
been a full
I love
house or
that.
close to it.
It's so special. The vibe in the auditorium is
Yeah.
just something incredible.
Yeah.
And-
Even the original one that I wrote that I put on,
Oh, that's lovely.
and it was like, I mean, that was only a
Yeah.
100-seat theatre, but it was
So
like,
what?
yes.
Sell the tickets.
And
get
that
involved.
was
Exactly.
2 weeks
Yeah.
worth. So we did we did 8 shows, I think, for
Wonderful.
that one. So
Really good.
yeah, so
That's
I mean-
quite a run, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
8 shows, you'd be pretty exhausted by the end of that. Yeah.
yeah, I actually feel really sorry for the main actor, James Garces. Do you know James?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Great actor. Love working with James. I've worked with him a couple of times because he did Love and Music,
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
which was the original one, and he also did The Outsiders.
Oh,
And
interesting.
unfortunately, with The Outsiders, we had to close after opening night because COVID caused huge restrictions and the 2 meter rule,
Miserable.
and that included actors, and we couldn't. You can't do Outsiders on stage with the fight
I
scenes.
mean, you could do The Outsiders outside. Would that work?
But you couldn't do it on stage
Yeah.
with with the fight scenes 2 meters apart.
No,
oh,
not gonna happen.
You're too close. Social distance. I'll get
Yeah,
you
I'll
for that.
get
Yeah,
you.
we'll wait until after lockdown.
Doesn't quite work.
But
no.
James, when we did Love and Music, right now, there was a scene there where he had to drink pretty much a full litre of water.
My Lord.
Because it was supposed to be vodka and he was supposed to get smashed, and he's sitting there and it was at least a litre of water, and because his character had like maybe 10 seconds off
Yeah, right.
stage through the whole 2 hour show, 2.5
When did he
hour
go to
show.
the toilet after that?
I don't know, but I really feel sorry for him. And James,
Wow.
if you are listening, I'm still really sorry that I ever put you through that.
Very well hydrated.
But he was an astonishing actor. He's
Yeah, what a
he's an
trooper.
astonishing actor, and I will work with James any day.
Amazing.
You know,
Love that.
he actually came along because we were going to put on To Sir With Love.
Right.
And then we had some casting issues there, and the assistant director said to me, "Brenton, you've got to pull the plug on this because we've got
Yeah.
50% of the cast missing at too many rehearsals." I'm like, "Yeah, can't
Fair
do
enough.
It was a big cast,
Right. And that's
And-
always hard to coordinate with a lot of people.
yeah, and there were some problems with the script. I mean, it was the professional script,
Yeah.
but there were a lot of problems with it that went from one set to another without telling you it had gone to another set. So we had to work out how we were going to do this. So instead of having a teacher's lunchroom, we had all the teachers gather in the classroom, and we just
Yeah.
said, "Oh yeah, he's sitting in his classroom having lunch," and the teachers come in and sit there
yeah.
and smoke the pipes and all the
Love
rest
that.
of it. But
That's awesome.
James was unfortunately we had to pull the plug. James was actually going to play Denham.
Oh, okay.
So Denham, if you know the movie, if you know the play, or if you've read the book, Denham is the really rough guy. He's the one who's he leads
Right.
the gang. He leads the kids. What Denham says goes. But he was going to play Denham, and then.
And then COVID took over, and
Well, no, that one was a
the
casting issue. But then he stayed on for Love and Music,
okay,
and then Outsiders. But yeah, I'll work with him anytime.
that's wonderful.
So okay, so it opens
Yes, 29th of June.
29th, which is a Wednesday night.
Yes,
And
you won't be sorry.
you got 5 shows.
Yes.
So 29th, 30th, 1st, matinee on the 2nd,
Yes,
and
Saturday
evening on the
night,
Saturday
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
So 5 shows, 4 days. Regal Theatre in Subiaco.
In Subiaco. You won't be disappointed. That's for
Just
sure.
go to Ticketek and look for My Fair Lady.
Correct.
It promises to be a really good production.
It will be.
And what's because this is finishing in 2 weeks.
Yes, I know.
So what's
Oh,
on the
look,
cards for
I'm-
you after that?
I've auditioned for a couple of things
Yeah.
coming up, and obviously they're all pending because they're doing callbacks and
Yeah.
things are happening. So I couldn't quite tell you at the moment.
Are you doing SpongeBob?
No, I'm not actually.
Did you not
because
audition?
I didn't. I didn't audition for SpongeBob, and that was purely because I've actually auditioned for another show that's on at the exact same time. And I'm kind of.
And you'd rather have that one, but you haven't been offered that one.
I haven't. But I also, you know what? I'm a big believer in what's for you won't go by you.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? If the one I've auditioned for doesn't work out, it wasn't meant to be. I wasn't meant to have a show for the end of this year because I'm traveling at the end of the year. I'm going to the UK to see my family. And I thought, you know what? Then that's fine. I've got that.
You got
to look
room in your
forward
suitcase?
to. Yeah, right. Well, I'm actually thinking of hitting the West End while I'm there.
A big trunk, just
So-
fit me in.
I've been doing some research because I've been thinking about trying to do a few open auditions while I'm in London. So I thought I might just go hit the trail. So we'll see what happens with that, and I may not come back.
Who knows?
I mean, a girl can dream, right?
I know.
Well, if
so
I
we'll
ever
see.
travel, if I go to America, I want to go and see Broadway.
Right,
If
yes.
I go to England, I want to see West End.
Of course.
No,
I've done both of them. Broadway's incredible. West End's incredible. But I also get kept very busy. I'm on a bit of a side hustle. I'm actually a beauty queen. I am Ms. Premier Elite of this year. Yes, so I'm a queen for the Premier Elite pageant system. So I do a lot of appearances and a lot of charity work for the Premier Elite system as well. So I'll be handing over my crown on January 22nd. I think it is our actual end.
So
of
what
the
do I have
pageant.
to do to get this crown?
Right, I was going to say I should have brought it in. We could have modelled it. I
Yeah.
didn't even think. Next time.
So what do I have to do to get this crown?
You've just got to go and get onto the Premier Elite website. So just Google Premier Elite Pageants. And the director there is Renata. She's a beautiful woman. And it's all about woman empowerment and sisterhood. I think there's a stigma attached to pageantry that it's, pretty much about a skinny woman parading around in swimwear. Not at all. Do you think I would wear a bathing costume in front of people? That ain't going to happen. I don't want people to run screaming. So it really is about just empowering women to be the best version of themselves and lifting each other up. It's such a great pageant. And I've got to meet so many wonderful women. There's about 3 or 4 different pageant systems in Perth. And a lot of people don't know about it. It's almost an extension of the performing arts if you think about it, because you have to interview, there's public speaking, and there's a talent section, which I sung and danced in, of course. And so there's a lot to it. There really is, bar just wearing a pretty dress and looking nice with the crown on your head. So
Look into that.
yeah, it's really fun. And I'm obviously Ms., so MS Premier Elite, as it were. And that's actually from, I think it's 30 plus or something is that section. Yeah.
46.
Exactly. See? Don't whisper it. Say it out loud and proud, sister. You know what? Age is but a number.
Oh, it
Look,
is.
I mean,
it is.
I-
People look
I-
at me going, you don't look
No,
it.
you don't look it.
Well, look, I mean, I could shave this off. I could.
He looks really nice.
Do you
when
know
it's
what?
all off.
You are welcome. Come and join the sisterhood.
Yeah. Yeah, why
You'd
not?
look great in a crown.
I just want a crown.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me my crown.
You know what?
Buy
I
you
love
one
my
for
crown.
Christmas.
I absolutely love. I vacuum with it on.
I would too
I'm like,
if I want
I'll
one.
put a ball gown on my crown, and I'm just going to vacuum my house, and I feel good about this.
I watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I want to be a drag
Exactly.
queen.
Why not? Let's drag it up, But it is. It's great fun. So that's my side hustle that does keep me busy. This weekend, actually, the Queens will be at the Every Woman's Expo that's happening, and they'll be running a little stall there with some makeup and things for Senegents for the lovely M's Forever Lips. And
Oh, I used to
Yes.
sell that.
oh, there you go. It's great stuff because
Yeah.
lipstick never comes off.
It's great
So
for
we love
two,
it.
2 days, 2 shows.
Exactly. And actually, Em, who runs her little business with Sam at Senegent, she's in the show as well for My Fair Lady. So it's all coming full circle. She was the previous Ms. Premier Elite. So again, you've been Perthed. We are all
Exactly.
interconnected. But yes, if you're interested, the pageant has taking applications now. Just head to the Premier Elite website and sign up. And obviously, I think there's a small application fee to be part of it. But it is an incredible 6 months of your life. And then the final weekend happens over 3 days. And it's great. We have pajama parties. We eat pizza. We do, obviously, the big night where we model and get crowned and do all sorts of things. And I have made the most wonderful friends out of it. And it's a beautiful sisterhood. It really is. It's a great thing to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So quick last plug. So it's My Fair Lady. Now, because I know George Bernard Shaw wrote Pygmalion.
Yes, that's correct.
Who wrote My
That's
Fair
a good
Lady?
question. I've actually got it on my phone.
I can never remember.
It's something with an
It's
L.
not Rogers and Hammerstein.
No, it's something with an L. I will bring it up here. Here we go.
Learman or something?
So we've got book and lyrics by Alan J. Lerner.
Lerner. I was
Yeah.
close.
That's it. And music by Frederick. Is it Lowe?
See,
Yeah.
I see. That's where I was
Yeah.
getting confused.
Yes.
Yeah. So
This is
Frederick.
the two L's.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Frederick Loewe.
Yeah. Loewe.
And
And Alan Lerner.
okay.
Yeah. That's
But I mean, everyone knows My Fair Lady.
Oh, yes.
It's like everyone knows Shakespeare.
It's iconic. It is
but
iconic.
it's so Shakespeare. See what happened?
Let's see what. Yeah. It's
All
on
right.
the brain.
So My Fair Lady, Regal Theatre.
Yes.
29th to the 2nd. You've got matinee on the Saturday.
We do.
Book
Ticketek.
at
Ticketek.
Ticketek. Just look for My Fair Lady on Ticketek.
Do it now.
All right, Chookers.
You won't regret it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me
Oh,
and
you're
letting
very
me spread
welcome.
the word.
Ian,
I'm very
it's been
excited
good.
to share this show with Perth, and I
Yeah.
appreciate
Oh, yeah,
you helping us.
it's-
Well,
Great.
I'm excited to see
Book a
it.
ticket
I'm
now.
excited to see
Good.
it because
We're excited to have you.
Have you got your tickets?
Yes, all sorted and ready.
You got your free tickets, have you?
Yes, I do. I got my freebies.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Mine haven't come through.
Hit, nudge, nudge, right?
Yeah. Just a slight reminder there.
I think they'll be at the box office for you.
Oh, they
won't
probably
you?
will
Yeah,
be.
we'll make
They
sure.
probably because I think most of the cast and that put their name in early.
Absolutely, and they
And-
just leave them at the box office for that opening night for us. And
Yeah,
whoever's
and I
getting them.
actually asked for the Friday night because I want to take a date.
Oh yeah. Oh, cute. Love that. Date night.
If I can get a date.
Yeah, it won't be a problem. Let's be real. Tinder it up.
I
Whatever.
think we'll
it
have
is
to
now.
watch either the Friday night because Saturday night I've got a showcase for Adapt,
Oh,
which is our own little thing. But yeah, so I was
lovely.
like, yeah.
Great.
But yeah, no, I'm going to book tickets.
Oh, look, we're busy people, right? We're busy
Yeah.
people.
We
It's
are.
all good.
All right. Well,
Thank you
thank you
again.
so much
I
for coming
appreciate
on.
it.
Thank
Cheers.
And
Have a good rest of your
Haley,
show.
And,
Thank you.
like I said, Chookers for the show.
Thank you.
And that goes to the rest of the cast
Indeed.
and crew as well.
Yes.
And I'll definitely be down there because I'm doing videography for
Yes, of course.
for the tech and
We'll see you
dress
behind the camera.
rehearsal. And I will be down there. I'm going to set up three. Well, I'm going to have 2 static cameras happening, and I'm going to have
It's exciting.
the other one that I can actually get close
Great.
and personal.
I love that. Well, you're welcome to get close and personal to me with a camera. I'm a bit of a camera hog.
Well, I've noticed.
shy away.
I have noticed when I'm taking photos, some of the guys are, oh, not photos,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
photos,
And I'm
these-
like,
but these are the men.
"Hi." I know they're terrible, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like embrace
And
it.
oh, not the photos. No, oh, he's taking photos. No, I don't want photos.
There's no such thing as bad publicity, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's right. That's right. All right.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to go to a song. Let's go to from Greece. This is Shana. Hang on, that's not right. I put the wrong song up. How did that happen? All right. This is Tears on My Pillow from
nice.
by Shana.